Welcome to the CTBzodiac channel. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our newsletter today includes the following. Gentleness is an illusion, but in reality it is an uncompromising constellation. It is someone who has the courage to both love and detest, and who does not compromise his ideals even when he is unsuccessful. Gentleness is often an attitude in life, but just because someone is gentle does not indicate that they are easy to communicate with. Certain people frequently give off a simplistic appearance, yet their hearts are frequently unyielding. They frequently have the courage to love and hate, even if it means they will lose, because they will not compromise their ideals. But how many different constellations are there that have the same trait? 1. Cancer. Cancerians typically have a calm demeanor, and they are also known for their tendency to be helpful and considerate toward others. Nonetheless, the majority of Cancers have courageous hearts, and they frequently refuse to compromise their values in any way. They typically exhibit a high level of patience as well as tenacity when it comes to pursuing what they truly value. Because they are so determined, Cancers typically have a lot of patience because of their endurance. They don't want to expose this aspect of themselves, thus Cancers always choose quiet over words, and they are also accustomed to avoiding the edge in sensitive ways. Because of these factors, Cancers are excellent communicators. They are able to adopt a more submissive stance in order to covertly practice working toward their objectives, but they will not actually sacrifice their position. If Cancers have no intention of giving up, it will be very difficult for anyone to convince them to change their minds, regardless of the persuasiveness of other people or the unpleasant aspects of the circumstance. As a result, Cancer possesses an aspect that has the courage to both love and hate. They are able to forsake others in order to maintain their stance on certain issues. Sometimes, a lot of people have trouble convincing Cancers of something, thus Cancers will purposefully keep their distance from the throng when this happens. They don't like to get into arguments with other people, therefore Cancers will just choose to avoid the situation and won't bother to explain why. Many people who are Cancer may give off the impression of being compassionate, but their emotions are actually quite distant. They will adopt a detachment mentality in order to protect the principles that are most dear to them, as well as a pristine piece of land that exists within their own hearts. They simply want to believe in the reality they believe, which is tough given how difficult Cancer is to combat with reason. 2. Taurus. Don't be fooled by the calm and kind exteriors of those born under the Taurus sign. These individuals are actually quite robust on the inside. They have a tendency to be quite obstinate, and when they really want to insist on something, they are willing to fight the outside world for the ideal that they hold in their hearts. Those who are born under the sign of the Taurus have a strong sense of belief, and they are not the kind of individuals who are prone to being erratic or wavering in their decisions. When a Taurus makes up their mind about anything, even if they briefly cave in their mouths, they will never change their minds about it in their hearts. When you think you have Taurus convinced of something, you may find that they still go their own way in spite of your efforts. The stubbornness of a Taurus, on the other hand, rarely causes harm to those around them. Rather, they just insist on their own business. If the bull discovers that this issue has the potential to harm and hurt other people, then they will conduct themselves differently. Taurus has the ability to alter their behavior and act in a way that is acceptable to everyone. They are people who believe in the philosophy of win-win, and they are also people who place an emphasis on maintaining harmonious relationships with others. Because of this, Taurus frequently possesses a sense of rationality and empathy in spite of their stubborn nature. Taurus, on the other hand, does not belong to the category of signs that can turn. In the event that the circumstances surrounding the crisis continue to spiral out of hand, Taurus will not make any concessions. It's possible that in the end, burning the jade and stone together will happen, but it's also possible that Taurus won't be able to change the values they insist on. Because of this, they are more prone to live an extremely fatigued lifestyle or to do a significant number of side trips. 3. Scorpio. Many people with the Scorpio zodiac sign have the tendency to consistently adhere to their values. They are also quite good at following the trend, despite the fact that turning is one of their strengths. Nonetheless, it is very difficult for a Scorpio to compromise, which is what drives them to make every effort to hide who they really are, despite the fact that their incisiveness and knowledge are so clear. Even if they are already very mild or very communicative, people frequently get the idea that Scorpios are not easy to mess with. Even if this is not the case, you can always feel a powerful aura emanating from them, The underlying reason for this is that Scorpios will never compromise their values in order to achieve their goals. When Scorpio has a moment of clarity and considers giving up, there are occasions when they do not need to worry about their previous friendship. They are also the type of person who is capable of being cruel to themselves. When Scorpio wants to forget certain people or move away from their routine surroundings, he will frequently chop his own arm. They frequently hold the thought that they are injuring 1,000 adversaries while inflicting 800 damages upon themselves. Even though they may be able to conceal it, the Scorpion's personality can occasionally be quite forceful and noticeable. On the other hand, if they come into anything that is very challenging for a Scorpio to accept, they would sooner lose than let themselves compromise and risk losing face. A person with the Scorpio zodiac sign is one who would rather betray others than me. As the saying goes,